What's going on, YouTube? How you doing? How you doing? First and foremost, man, I want to thank everyone for the support. I want to thank everyone for the likes, the shares, the comments, just everything, man. I humbly appreciate that, and I just always just want to thank y'all. Okay, and I hope y'all having a wonderful weekend. My weekend was great so far, and I'm ready to get it started. But before we get started, please hit that subscribe button for your boy. Please hit that subscribe button for your boy. Now, we're going to talk about an ongoing cultural custom situation that's going on in Nigeria right now. This is in northern Nigeria, around the Delta State area. Now, some people, now I don't know if it's called, and I think the name of the city is Ozoro, but it's a festival. Now, they say this festival is about celebrating fertility, but really this is a R-wording festival, if you know what I mean, or essaying festival, if you know what I mean. This has been going on for centuries, from what I understand. This is my first time hearing about it this year, but basically what they do is it's a 7-day thing that they got going on, and basically you have men and teenagers and even some young boys chasing women all around the town, trying to grape them, trying to R-word them, trying to sexually assault these women. They range from little girls to elderly people that's getting assaulted out here, and I think it's very sad for me to even talk about stuff like this. It's a lot of young women out there, man. You know, I seen the disturbing videos, and I'm not going to post those videos on my channel, but y'all can go on TikTok, y'all can go on X, or even Facebook, and type in Nigerian Ozoro Festival. Ozoro, Ozoro, if I'm pronouncing it right. I think this is very sad. And the reason why I say it's sad, because there are some officials that are telling a lot of Nigerian women to stay in the house. Don't come outside. It's very dangerous. Whoop-de-whoop. And I'm seeing some officials that say, you know, they're going to arrest some people and stuff like that. But that's not enough. That's not enough at all. And I think they're not doing enough at all to protect the women out there in Nigeria. There's no reason for a lot of men to want to R-word. When I say R-word, I'm saying R-A-P-E, women. I think they're just not cool, yo. I don't like that. And some of the videos I seen, man, you see like groups of men, like it ain't just 5 or 6 of them. It be hundreds of these people. Then these men have teenagers following them. And then these teenagers had elementary age children following them doing this same thing. And they act like this is just some normal stuff. This is not normal, people. This is not normal. And I want to equate this, and a lot of people got upset with me when I talked about this on TikTok. But y'all remember back in the day doing Freaknik, and I know a lot of people don't like to talk about this, but there was a lot of sexual assaults going on during Freaknik. And I'm 43 years old, so I'm old enough to remember. I seen the video cameras. I seen the recordings, not just on tapes and stuff where people were selling. I'm talking about recordings from men that went to these events. And it was saddening and sickening. And even as a young man, as a young teenage boy, I understood that shit didn't look right. I understood when I see cats. I ain't saying the people that were filming it was doing it, but they was filming activities that was going on in Atlanta during that time. And I remember I used to see like 30 dudes just rush a car, touching and grabbing and feeling and sexually assaulting these women in cars. And it'd be about 30 niggas in cars. So let's say the woman didn't want to get out the car. They'll shake the car. They'll bust the window out the car. They'll do all types of weird stuff. And there was this one video I remember seeing where a girl, she was just walking, man. She wasn't dressed provocative. She wasn't doing nothing. Her friend just walked by. I think they were going inside a mall or going inside an outlet mall. But it was something like that. And it was like 100 niggas rush these women. This happens at the Capitol. If anybody familiar with the Capitol events in Texas, a lot of these events used to be like that. Maybe not to the extreme as Nigeria, but it does put me in the mindset of that. And a lot of men might disagree with that, but we're going to have to tell the truth and shame the devil. And that's one of the reasons why Freaknik ended. That's the reason why Daytona Beach ended. That's the reason why all these beach parties, Capitol Beach Party, people used to go to Carolina Bike Week. All that's why all this stuff ended, because there was a lot of stuff going on, right? But it stopped, and now in the modern era, it's not as prevalent as it used to be. Maybe not on the level what Nigeria is doing, but that's the mindset. That's what made me think about it. So don't y'all men get in y'all feelings when I speak on that. But going back to Nigeria, that's why I say a lot of these African countries, man, are very diabolical. They very degenerate. They have cultural practices that just not right, man. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I understand why Nigerian women leave Nigeria and come to a Western civilization. Because what woman wants to live like that? Just in the woman general. What woman want to live like that? What woman got to be cooped up in the house for 7 days worried that a group of men, teenagers, or kids might grape them? That's not a way to be, bro. That's just not a way to be. And I don't like that. That's one thing I don't like, man. I don't like women getting R-worded, kids getting R-worded, all that. Then from what I'm hearing, they getting the men too. It's another sad thing. I'm hearing men getting R-worded out there. I'm hearing men and boys getting caught slipping in the middle of the night. So the same men that's chasing these women, they getting caught up too, because they can't get a woman. There's another mob of men that gonna get these little men and taking their boochie cat. That's a weird dynamic, bro. And I think northern Nigeria, I think there's like a Muslim state, I want to say. Is that a Muslim state? I don't know if Delta State is Christian, but if I'm wrong, say I'm wrong. But that's some weird stuff, bro. That is some weird stuff. Like, why can Nigeria get that together? Because not only Nigeria doing, but India is doing it too. So let me not forget India. India got something similar going on right now. India probably even worse than what Nigeria got. But I ain't comparing people being victimized either. Both of them being victimized. What's up with the men out there in Africa, man? Why the men can't control themselves in Africa? I understand why Nigerian women marry other types of men. They don't want to marry a Nigerian man. I understand why there's a lot of Nigerians that live in the United States don't want to go back to Nigeria, especially the women. They don't want to go back there, and I don't blame them. That's why I always, when I talk about Africans and stuff, man, it be certain situations I understand. Because I do have a heart for people that are being taken advantage of and being assaulted out here. But I also don't have a heart for people that spit in black Americans' face when we try to help these people. And it's the humanity in me, and I'm pretty sure others. See, a lot of these Africans think we hate them. We don't hate y'all. We just getting some straightening going on. We got to get some, we setting cultural boundaries, like I always say. And it sucks. It sucks, and I know it hurts. And it hurts me to do what I do to these people, to the Caribbeans, to the Mexicans, well, not the Mexicans, y'all, because the Mexicans racist as hell, but to the Caribbeans and the Africans. The only reason why I'm saying that, and I'm getting away from this, because we share melanated skin, but we don't share the same melanated mind. That's the only difference between us. And so I'm happy I'm getting away from aligning with skin tone and stuff like that. Like, we might have some camaraderie, but at the end of the day, and collectively, we don't, man. We don't have nothing with these people. We just don't. But the humanity in me, I don't like to see women get R-worded, bro. I don't like to see men get R-worded, you know what I mean? Or young boys or young girls or the elderly get R-worded like that, man. I think something needs to happen. And I think Donald Trump needs to go out there and regulate. I think Donald Trump needs to do what he did on Christmas Day again. Something needs to happen, man. Something needs to happen. Because reason why I'm kind of passionate about stuff like this, because I know countless and countless women that has been R-worded and sexually assaulted. Y'all don't know the countless stories that I have heard, bro. The countless stories I have heard. And one thing I'm proud of, some of these black women that I have met, and you know what I'm saying, that they still prevail. they don't use that as an excuse. You know what I'm saying? Some of them got therapy. I met men that has been sexually assaulted. You know what I'm saying? I met plenty of men that been molested. And them feeling comfortable to tell me, I think that's a great thing also. And me telling them to get therapy, seek help, put them in connection with certain people. Because even as a man going through there, it's hard to have a conversation with people like that. Because then people going to think you gay because you got touched on as a kid. A lot of men want to like to bury that inside of them. So that's why you see a lot of men that that are womanizers. Like they just gotta have sex with different women. Now, not all men. Let me get that straight, because I had sex with women too, but I wasn't touched on. But there's a certain segment of men that just have this sexual thing, this sexual desire, this sexual hunger all the time, and sometimes they can result from childhood trauma, or is what I'm talking about now, childhood sexual trauma. Seen it even with women. You see a lot of women that have like high sex drives and want to fuck all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking on the heterosexual level, because I know there's another side to it where, some of my men and some of our men and women turn LGBT because of that too. Not all y'all, okay? So, because please don't give me y'all, well, I like to fuck a lot, Brian, and I wouldn't touch I get it, nigga. I'm talking about the extreme side of the game. And when you meet some of these cats, man, and they break down crying, man, telling you like how they how they mama husband, boyfriend was abusing them, abusing him and his sister, and how and they just break the story down, man. It's traumatic, man. It's sad, man. It's sad. To see a man carry that burden, carry that shame, even sometimes carrying that sexual confusion within themselves. That's a sad thing, because then I start to look like, I understand why you act the way you do. I understand why you have certain type of anger issues. I can understand why you have this certain type of aggression when you see a woman somewhere. You need to get that fixed, brother. That's all I tell her. And that's what we do, man. We try to do our best to help people that has been in those situations out here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I deal with a lot of that too, y'all. I deal with a lot of people that been sex trafficked. I deal with a lot of people that been sexually assaulted. Just a lot of stuff, man. And it wasn't something I was looking for. It just opportunity presented itself for me to help people, and especially my men that been through stuff. Cause we deal with a lot of men that been assaulted in prison. Maybe not forced, but coerced into being intimate with a man in prison. And when they get out of prison, they feel ashamed about it. They don't have nobody to talk to about the things they have done in prison. So they wasn't forced. A lot of them, from talking to them, they was finessed. They got their stuff finessed, basically. I'm trying to speak in a correct term, but yeah, they got finessed. So when coming out of prison, going back into society, really you feel like a heterosexual man, but when you was in prison, you were doing some other freaky things. So that fucks with a lot of men. I don't think a lot of men talk about that, man, and it's hard for men to talk about that. Women can talk about it. Women can talk about their essay or them being all worded, because they want to make sure they save the next young girl. And that's why I'm happy to see a lot of women speaking out on social media on what happened with them, even though there are women that's scared to speak out. But I think the women that are speaking out, I think that is helping a lot of young girls to tell the truth about what happened in their life. And once we get the men to do it, once we get the men to be comfortable to talk about their essay, or they're being R-worded as kids, or they're even being or them being physically abused as kids, I think there'll be I think a lot of more young men will feel compelled to get help, to tell who did it and stuff like this. So yeah, man, this is just one of these topics, man, that I don't like. I don't like to see kids and women and men being forced into things that shouldn't be right. But I'm gonna end on that. So what's y'all thoughts about the Nigerian, what's going on? I know a lot of y'all like, man, fuck them Africans, man. You know, I get it, y'all. I ain't knocking it either. So if you say fuck them, man, that's their own thing. I totally understand. Trust me, I totally understand, man. Because I understand how these Africans been treating us, you know. But I'm just speaking on my behalf. Me having humanity just for women, children, and vulnerable men. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, y'all be safe. Let me know y'all thoughts, and I love y'all so much.